I love it. Welcome to Galactic Goddess podcast and show. I am here with the incredible Lynn. That's the name you go by, yes?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And she is a healer, a hardcore healer, and just a magical woman all around. I've had the privilege just to get to talk to her a little bit here. Please do tell us about you and your work.
Thank you for having me, first of all, and just being present with this entire Awakening Starseeds community. I'm so excited. As far as what I do, and you were really on point to say I'm a hardcore healer in a sense, like, well, I just don't mess around when it comes to spiritual healing, dealing with spirits and healing the land. So I'm very all around. I'm a very all around type of healer, from people to animals to, ancients. So I'm very connected here in this land in Los Angeles, where I practice out of, but also to my motherland of the Philippines.
We were just saying how cool it was that you're born here, that you've integrated with LA, the energy of LA. So you're acclimated, because it's a very intense place for healers to live. A lot of healers, it's just the energy is very intense. So how do you manage to ground that, and how do you stay grounded and focused?
So my dad was a Manghi Hilot, so he's also a traditional healer. So what that is someone who uses energy and manual manipulation to heal someone's body. How I stay grounded is having this home. As a healer, you have to have a home, and many healers believe this in different philosophies and indigenous traditions, is you have to have a home so you can be grounded to do the work that you're going to be doing for your community. Right? My husband also grounds me, my children, having a garden, my healing work. I need those plants because I have my company, Herbalaria. So I use a lot of the plants I grow as part of my ingredients. So I'm very earth-based, but at the same time connected to divine source, and create a protective space around my home, as above and below, all around. So I've learned to do this over the years, being trained, being seated with this, bringing this with me as a spirit into this world from my very birth.
Yeah, it's part of your divine blueprint. You came in, to be seated as a starseed right there in LA, and then to bloom and to activate others, or to help others around you, because starseeds are activators.
Very much so. I believe that. And so as I continue doing the work I do in having workshops, teaching people, healing them, advising them, counseling them, I'm seeding them, and I'm also activating them so that they can be the best person they can be, and then live with the idea. So they continue doing this work with the knowledge that we're all interconnected. So we have this terminology in Psikolohiya, it's called kapwa. So kapwa means like we are interconnected. We are one of each other, which is a very common concept in indigenous traditions. And if we continue believing that, then the work we do to become healthier and better as spiritual beings, as physical beings, we'll help the rest of the world that way.
Yes. That's so true. We have to be grounded and know, but then know that we can, when we're coming from that place, we are all connected. We all affect each other. That's one thing I've always said, is like, even our thoughts, we're all adding to the collective, like the cloud, but we have that collective cloud consciousness. So you might not think that you affect people, but the truth is we all do. And so the healing work is so important, especially now more than ever, because as we are individually, cultivating ourselves, regrowing those beautiful, plants, and cultivating that, we're contributing to that garden. You know, we don't want those you know, there are some of those weeds, like I've seen them when I go hiking. They're like these long vines and they go around trees and they strangle all the flowers and all the beautiful things. And you're like, I try to cut them off, or I try to get a stick and I'm like,
oh my God.
you know, because like I'm like, you're suffocating these plants or these trees, and you're cutting off the beauty, you're cutting off the life, and you're being a vampire, you know. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's like that too with in our you know, in our realm that we're in, that we have that kind of energy too. So, you know, we want to start releasing that and activating what we truly are.
Yeah. And we're also connected not only to the people, but to the land and to the spirits, which is why I do a lot of spiritual healing work for other spirits that are stuck in this realm, or the native spirits of this land who have experienced all that trauma and pain. So I do a lot of trauma healing in the land.
Yes.
So there's a contract between me, the spirits of this land, my ancestors, and the motherland. So it's like this huge, I'm like, okay, I got this. I could do this. But, you know, and all of that, if we just know that we're all interconnected with the earth and the spirits of this earth, and I know there's this huge thing right now with ghost hunting and all that, trying to hunt out spirits. A lot of those spirits have illnesses and have even their own attachments, and those spirits need to be healed and released.
Yeah.
So if we could all just learn in some way how to heal that I'd say we'd expedite our elevation and join the rest of the planetary systems.
Yes, we need our guys. That's how we get our galactic passport. You want your galactic passport? We gotta contribute. We gotta understand we are all interconnected. And I really like what you were saying about the spirit world too, because people get very scared or confused. And I think we have to have compassion, because if they're quote unquote ghosts, you know, that means their soul hasn't moved forward. They're stuck in like a loop, right? And so so it's not about judgment or even fear. They're not staying here just so they can scare you or like try to make your life miserable. Like they're quite in a bad place, worse than you are, maybe, you know?
Yes. That's why I love that you brought up the word compassion, because that is necessary in the work that we all do as healers.
So how do you go about, like, maybe let's expand on the aspect of the spirit world, because that's something people don't usually talk about, and since you're knowledgeable.
Yeah. What would you like to know?
You can just share to our listeners, like, how you deal with those beings, or how other people should approach that, why they might be stuck.
Okay. So we'll take it from the human spirit perspective, because there's many different types, dimensions, and different languages. And that's something we have to be conscientious of, is that the spirit realm has a culture. There's different cultures in the spirit realm. So if I was in Thailand, perfect example, and I went to one of the ancient temples and I tried saying something to them in English, they may not understand what I'm saying in English, or the concept of what I'm trying to do. They may try to understand energetically what I'm trying to express to them, but they may not understand it completely. Why are they not moving on, or why do they remain there? That kind of stuff. Now, as far as the spirits here, like, for example, Hollywood, this is like a hub of haunting. So many hauntings. So they have haunting everywhere. I've been to places where I feel them come to me, and there's not much I can do as far as releasing them without letting them feel like they want to be released. So some of them don't even want to be released. Some of them stay where they want to stay. Yeah. Right? And another example is when I was in the Philippines. So when Mount Pinatubo, the volcano, exploded, right? It left lahar, so a lot of ashes, and buried this church almost halfway. I went to visit that church a few years ago, and with my mom and the priest, walk in there and I was like, there's a priest right there. He's this tall man in white garb. He's got some sort of beard and he's kind of cloaked a little bit. And his name was whatever I said, right? So the priest was like, yeah, we see him sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I go, he prays in the chapel below me, which has the Virgin Mary there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know this place. Like, how am I supposed to know? It's the first time I've been there. And yet they were giving me these images of where he would pray. So like a month later, my mom's friend, who's also a priest, said, you know what? They looked up the name of the priest that you said, and it was true. That's his name.
Wow.
And he was the founder he was one of the originators of that church who built it about over 400 years ago. And then you kind of wonder, well, if the church preaches that we all go to heaven, you know, you're a priest, that's not true then. You have free will to remain where you are. So he wanted to stay there and be its protector and remain praying.
Wow.
He didn't want to be released. Yeah. Yeah.
That's so true. You have to respect the free will of beings, you know. I had a not a similar encounter where I encountered a being in Italy, an old friend, and he came by to visit, and then I was like, do you want me to like help you? Do you need help? You know, can I help you, please? And he's like, oh, no. Like, I'm happy. I just want to say hi. Like, I'm quite happy here. I'm not interested in going anywhere else right now.
See, exactly. Like, and it's their choice.
It's their choice.
Some don't have a choice though.
Let's
They're
talk
caught
about
up in portals. So, okay. So my role as a traditional Filipino, I don't want to use the word shaman. So the word that was given to me by ancestors was katuoran. People call me babaylan or bailana. I personally just want to do the work regardless, whatever that is. But part of it is being able to open and close portals to help usher spirits to the other realm and then close it back up. Right? The ones who are trapped seem to be stuck in a vortex.
Yeah.
Or there are other spirits who are negative entities, I'd like to say, that trap them there and siphon their energy and weaken them and feed off of their own fear, which is really unfortunate.
That's a horrible place to be.
It's very bad. And I've encountered a few of those.
Yeah, it's like they get stuck in this like loop or something. It's like a timeless loop of where they were or something like that. But it's like not going anywhere.
Yeah. So you're like in a box. Imagine it's like this place where even if you say, go to the light, like where the hell is the light?
There's no light. Yeah.
There's no light. You got to open that portal for them.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So when people say, go to the light, like, no, that's not how it always works.
It's very, it's a little bit complicated dynamics of this universe, but also at the same time, it can also be more simple when we understand it from different terms and different, that's why I love you sharing this, because, we're here to share with people who may not know that this happens sometimes. We were all indoctrinated one way, but maybe we don't have the full picture. So we're all pieces of a puzzle, and through your work, sharing your experiences. And that's why experiences trump everything. When you have real experiences, then you can share from that place of deeper understanding.
Yes, I believe that. And then being here in Hollywood, and like, I really honestly feel that it's such an interesting position for me to be at here, to be doing this work, to share the stories of my experiences with spirit beings. Not only spirits of this realm, but even creator beings, even like alien type beings.
Oh, do tell. Like, that's like, no, that's like, woohoo.
So have you ever been to Mount Shasta?
Oh, yes, a few times.
Okay, so there was this one time I went there on a shamanic retreat, and I was camping, and I had my cell phone, next to me charging, and I'm falling asleep, And the moment I fell asleep, I saw this being. I don't know if I was asleep. I think I was like awake asleep in that in-between realm.
Mm-hmm.
And there he stood, or it stood, staring at me. Like literally, and I don't know if it was staring or it just knew that I was there. Like it was acknowledging me, right? So I woke up the next day and I saw my cell phone with a text message with all kinds of crazy like numbers, letters, like my home address, like all kinds of stuff. And I wasn't even near my cell phone, not even near it whatsoever. So I told my husband about that and he was like, wow, they visited you. I was like, yes, Mount Shasta is one of the is the sister mountain to Mount Banahao in the Philippines.
Oh, I didn't. Okay, I love this information. Yes, yes, yes.
So channeling that. So I'm now called to go to the Philippines to visit that mountain because I'm usually in Mindanao, the southernmost island.
Yes, amazing. So he came, what did you feel that he came to share with you, or?
The beginning of more coming.
Yeah.
They're coming in more. I actually did automatic writing. I did a journey a few weeks ago where I had to write down everything they were saying. Like I was furiously writing down these messages and what they were saying, like they're coming, that our family would be protected, will be well. The ones who are healers, the light workers, are going to be preserved in every way because there's a lot of stuff that's going to happen with the earth.
Yes. Yes.
I hate to say it, but there's like, you know, I know we're starseeds. I'm sure we're aware that there are forms of cataclysms and
it's okay. I mean, we're here to share. We're here to share. That's part of the star seeds is not just to be magical light beams, but like we're seeds. We're strong. That's why we can share the things that other people might be afraid of. And we're never about scaring or about hurting. Sometimes the information that comes through is just what's happening, guys. So take it or don't take it. You don't have to take anything you don't want for the viewers, but I would love for you to share because I love it.
Yeah. So what's interesting is my son is also a sensitive, and I saw him packing up a backpack, and I was like, what are you doing? He's like, in case of an earthquake. I'm like, what? Is there an earthquake coming? But I always look at him and I'm like, why are you always preparing for something? And he's a very calm, very level earth being. And yet he's just like, just in case. I'm like, wow, that's interesting. That's different. So is there something coming through? And every time he said that, I would get a notification on my phone saying there's a major earthquake somewhere in the world. So I would like to share a little bit from my journey just to give you some of that message I received. So the celestial beings will guide you further to access the memories of the ancients to help humanity. You must travel back to Mount Banahao. So this is for me. Now it's saying the dark one does not belong here and is no longer needed.
Chills. I mean, that's such a beautiful message.
It's a lot, but the entities that have been present and caused harm are not allowed to do so anymore. Time now to go and do the work for the next coming changes, great earth changes and challenges to humanity. Healing is necessary and not an option. Believing is not a luxury. The spirit realm is in preparation. Do what you must do to continue to succeed and make life as sustainable as you can. Don't hold on to things and don't hold your breath.
Yes, I'm just getting my like I'm getting chills all the way from that message. I'm feeling that message on a cellular level. Very much resonating.
Me too right now. Like I'm feeling that right now, and mind you, I wasn't conscious of what it was going. I'm just writing, and then now that I reread it with you, I'm getting chills.
This is beautiful. And this is the shares I want. I want to bring this forward because it's not just for us who are doing the work and get the privilege of getting the messages, you know, a lot of times I get messages and I'm like, oh, this is too far out. Like, I don't feel comfortable sharing it, but I'm really realizing, like, it's not about you, girl. It's not about you. I got to get out of my own way and be like, you know what, I got to start sharing the messages, and we got to start sharing. You got to start sharing. We all have to come, because we are privileged to get these messages. And so it's part of the divine calling to share, you know, and that was powerful. That I was like, I want to hear some more.
It'll be in the book.
Yes.
I'll share some of that.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's really important that, I guess it was meant to be that I said it here in this platform, because I haven't really shared that publicly. That was a very personal journey to receive this message, but it's not a personal message. It's for the world to hear, to know. For all of us light healers, for all of us star seeds to take in that download that I took, take that download and integrate it with your current operating system within you, so you can move with courage.
Yes, with courage.
You know, in Karar, you know, and to open your heart and open your being to everybody so they can receive that. A lot of people's hearts need opening, and you need to be the one to open that and channel that light energy, that message from those beings that have given me this message, so that you can start healing and getting it out there for everybody to start elevating, because you are elevating. You are like 1,000,000 times higher than many people here. But you know, how fair is that? For the rest of them who are still asleep, they need to wake up and also be there at the 1,000,000 times height that you're at right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're here to share. We're here to help elevate, because we all want to come together. It's like, we don't want to leave people behind. We want to grab people. We can't pull them up. That's the thing I've learned.
Yes.
I can never, like, I've tried. I've been like, let's go. And they're like, nope. And then I drop down, you know? And so I can only come from where I'm coming from. We can only come from where you're coming from. And if people are divinely inspired, we'll keep sharing. We'll keep sharing for those
absolutely.
who want, even if they take a little piece, it's still something.
Yeah.
Something big and beautiful, the light.
I like that you said you can't pull them. So you become the inspiration for them. Hopefully. But we can't bring everybody. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, there will be the ones who will remain where they are. And that's okay. And we have to be okay with that too.
Yeah. It's kind of going back to the ghost thing. It's funny, we're circling back to the free will. Free will. They didn't want to move, some of them. And some people don't want to shift or change in this timeline. So we will, you know, we'll love them no matter where we are.
Yeah. And that's part of your love and compassion.
It's Kuan Yin. Kuan Yin always teaches me about patience, because I'm the most impatient person. I want everything now. I want to do it now. I want to be here. I want to be there. And she's like, she's been my mentor for some time, really telling me, slow down, and just, you're here right now. Have compassion with where you are. Be where you are. When it's time, you know? And
well, that's understandable. You were with Kuan Yin before you were born. You stood with her. I have a huge statue with her. I have actually several, because she's also one of my goddesses that I learned from. But you have been with her, and you definitely channel her message, and I could see that and feel that through your work.
Thank you.
Is good, which is why we wait for everybody in her messages. She didn't want to become a full goddess until all of humanity can cross over.
That's right.
And then maybe she will never get to that point.
Yeah.
Perhaps, you know? But we, as in the work we do in I guess not emulating her, but, you know, working with that energy of Kuan Yin energy, we will remain there as activators and waiting for people, inspiring them, and giving them those message of patience, healing, compassion. And then every time someone is able to walk past us into the gates, into elevating into those higher realms, that's a success story for us in the work we do.
Yes.
And we're fulfilling our purpose, you know?
Yes. Yeah, it's so beautiful. And I really honor your connection too to the Philippines with the healing work that you do. If you could share anything about that, about how you created that bridge and you know, that comes through you so clearly.
Yes. So when I was born, my mom told me, she said, "You look like you already knew where you were."
I love that.
She said, "You didn't look around like one of those babies
Yeah.
or whatever." She's like, "You really looked like you knew."
Mm-hmm.
And when I was a baby, I was gifted with this beautiful blanket that had these weaving patterns. And that was like what I call my protective blanket, my my security blanket. And I was also gifted with a little baby crocodile tooth to wear. So all these were gifted to me at a very young age. Now, why do I bring this up? Because the security blanket with those weaving patterns are tattoo patterns. And they are our protection. So it wasn't a security blanket. It was my protection because I was dealing with dark spirits and entities at a very young age.
Yeah.
I could see them, see energy. So I would put this blanket over me, which is what they do in the Philippines too. Like when the babaylan or when the espiritista or somebody goes into trance to control and contain the spirit, you throw a blanket over them. But I didn't go into trance. I was using it as a protection to contain myself because so that the spirits wouldn't touch me. And then the buaya tooth or the crocodile tooth is my protection because the buaya, the crocodile, is our ancestor. Right.
Amazing.
So growing up that way already and being gifted by ancestors with those protective amulets and what they call anting-antings and things like that, I'm now gifted with my tattoos to protect me. It's not a security blanket anymore. And now I have my own. But growing up with a dad who was also a healer, who was teaching me the ways of hilot and just loving plants and learning the way of our plant medicine through my grandmother, my dad. I'm sorry. It just completely solidified that for me. And I always go back to the Philippines too. So I've always been that bridge.
That's what I saw. Yeah, like you're that bridge of light that's connecting east and west and that portal of that divine.
Yes. And making people here, especially Filipinos, aware that we do have an indigenous culture, we do have ancient practices. And our colonized mindsets have hindered us from our inherent abilities to heal ourselves and other people. We keep it underground because of our, whether it's through Christianization or colonization, we have hidden that. It's not that time anymore. We need to start taking off that shield, that wool from our eyes, and just pulling off that cloth, those layers that have been added to us through ancestral traumas, and reveal our power. Because Filipinos, and I got to tell, I say this with confidence. We were seated on this earth through different beings.
Yes,
we carry the DNA of those beings, which is why we're so intuitive. Why do you think there's so many nurses who are Filipinos, caretakers? Because we know how to hone in and access the greater healing energies within ourselves.
Yes.
So we're very, very powerful. And I'm here to remind people that we may not have this organized method of healing modality like Reiki. Right? Those downloads. Even Reiki is only about over 90 years old. Our traditions are like millennia old.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. Yeah.
And I'm going to activate that in you now. Like you are going to be like even further activated, even more so. And anyone listening to this is going to be even further activated.
Yes.
Whatever tradition, whatever culture you come from.
Yes.
You are all powerful. All of you. And harness that.
Just beautiful. You literally brought tears to my eyes because there's just so many like through the lineage there's so many levels of pain and wounding through the colonization, and it's been so painful to unwind from that in the lineage and the DNA. And so bringing that stuff forward, like, you know, my mom and I are both in touch with that, but many of the family members like abandoned that, or they you know, they had that cloaked energy. And it was such a gift when that came and my ancestors came to me, and I was like, wow. It was such an honor. And then I still felt the pain of my lineage, though. I'm still feeling the pain of my lineage that have been conquered and have given all the power away, you know, and like our family, the Catholic Church came and to the whole village my mom was in and said, we own the property. They had a whole army with machine guns, and they, you know, or whatever guns they were. She said they were big guns. And my mom was a child, and they had to leave their home when they were just, you know, children, and abandon everything. They had 24 hours to leave. And this was the Catholic reign over the Philippines, part of that.
My God. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's like beyond unfortunate. That's a form of genocide, cultural genocide.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people, my mom's Catholic, we're Catholic, but I just want to remind people, like, the religion is a huge form of mass hypnosis. It's a massive hypnosis to have a group of people come in and try to conquer another people and try to make them believe that, yes, you can integrate these practices with your current practices, but if you don't, we're going to kill you. It's very difficult. And I have friends who are like very defensive about it, but you know, they're my friends, but I tell them, you know what, I love you, but unfortunately I cannot continue supporting this energy that has brought mass extinction, cultural extinction to my own culture and people.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
You're very powerful. Your words, you guys, you are an activator. Like when you speak, you activate. I can feel it, like you activate through your words. That's a gift that you have through your throat chakra, that you've been given this gift to speak and to share. It's beautiful. I can feel you very, like, it's definitely resonating.
We'll have to like touch on those ancestral traumas later on with you, and I'll help you work through those, because I can definitely kick that trauma.
Yeah. You know, it's so interesting how the trauma gets embedded. It's like I wasn't even there, you know?
It's there.
Yeah.
It's there. It's very much there. And the way we address that, Radha, is through ritual.
Yes.
And I do rituals with people in offering food and offering prayers to ancestors.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah.
And you also bring another lineage that's not Filipino, yes?
Yes, my dad.
So there was, those two had to come together. So I noticed this with a lot of my friends who are also Hapa, who are half-half, who are also, they are what you call the healers of both lineages. Because that lineage needs the Filipino lineage to heal their lineage. So you're like that coming together, this like massive spark to bring forth this healing for generations after. And that's not just within your lineage, but to other people's lineage. You get me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So that's why it's so important how you were born, with what traumas you bring with you, the ancestral traumas, because they need to be brought to light. Because if it's just my story, no one's going to believe me. You know? We need more of those stories out there of the traumas that come through us.
Yes. Yeah. That is so true and so important. And that's why I thought the book would be a great way to compile like people's voices. Like, let's stand together. Let's all share.
Yes. Oh, by the way, you have somebody with you right now behind you.
Oh.
You have a lot of ancestors coming through saying hi. I just noticed that right now.
Oh, really?
I think because whenever I'm talking, because they know who I am, then they start trying to pop through and like, I'm like, hold on now. So this is another thing I taught myself when I was younger. Boundaries.
Oh, great. Yes. They're like, can we have a conversation? Can we pop in this conversation?
Oh, that's a whole other interview.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. But that's probably what they're trying to say right now.
Skype, Zoom interviews with your grandmother right there.
I love it. I love it.
It's so important. Yeah, they're really appreciative of you. I could see that. They're very proud of you. But they're also saying that you need to start going back over there.
I've been feeling that in my heart. You know, it's interesting you said that, because
Yeah.
I was like, maybe this year I can find a way to go back. It's calling me. So
yeah, they're telling you need to bring a crystal, like a quartz crystal or something, and you're gonna put it in the dirt, in the soil.
Okay.
To bury it in there. So you will know how to triangulate that. So apparently there was something that you needed to go through the land that was of your mom's origin that needs to be healed, so that you can close that, you can seal that
chapter.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll journey with her too.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's like, you know, the Philippines is the land of Lemuria. It's the land of Mu, you know.
Yes.
A lot of people think that it's like Mount Shasta, and it's actually the Philippines and Asia, you know, the land of Mu.
Yes. That's why when people say, oh, I have a Lemurian quartz crystal, I was like, oh, you mean you have a piece of my home? All right.
Okay, cool.
Cool. I've got tons of that too. Inside me, in my spirit.
True.
I carry Lemurian energy.
I love that you said inside me, in my spirit. I went to this gem show and I saw this beautiful piece of Lemurian crystal, and she was like called the Lemurian Queen, and I just picked it up, but I just felt like I already was getting the download activation. It's already inside of us.
Yeah.
It's inside of us.
It is. That's why I'm like, that's great, you know. And I think it's overpriced for some of you guys, like, are selling that. But you know, for those of us who already have the activations, who can already access that, especially those of our culture, it's really not that necessary.
Yeah. So
because you are a walking crystal.
Yes.
Girl. You are a walking crystal. I can literally see it, all the facets going. Pop, pop, pop.
We're
all
walking
those radiant spectrums. That's what you are.
That's how I saw like in the higher realms. Like it's like that. It's like crystal bursts everywhere. It's just everything is light and much brighter. Like to me, this dimension is a little bit more dull. Like it's even more brighter and I don't know how to describe it, sparkling than this. Yeah. Like almost like Technicolor and colors we haven't seen or I hadn't seen before.
It's very iridescent. It's like you walk through the air and it's got this iridescent quality.
Yes, yes.
And your skin just it has that like shimmery, shiny look.
Yeah, like you're glowing. You got the crystal, Lemurian crystal glow.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, it comes naturally.
It's natural.
I love that. I love that. I feel like I could talk to you for the rest of my life, and you know,
can actually for many
you know
lifetimes.
I'm so excited about that, and I would love to have you on again. Maybe we could do something about Lemuria.
Well, yeah, let's do that.
That'd be very, very cool. I think that'd be a great interest too to our audience. And, Well, just thank you so, so much. You definitely activated me during this conversation. You brought tears to my eyes and you made my heart expand and reminded me that, yes, I do need to go back to the motherland of Mu. So
Yeah.
I will take your advice. When I go there, I'm going to bring my crystal and plant it in the ground and bring a healing to that. So,
yeah. So thank you for having me and for allowing me to do this work through this book that you're putting together, which I think is amazing, and just to be part of the community with everybody else who are healers and starseeds. So that's really exciting for me.
Yeah, we're so excited to have your voice. It's so unique and so needed is the word I'm thinking, needed at this time.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. So have a beautiful day. I'll put all her information below, guys, so you can connect with her. You're available for healings and things like that, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Great. So have a beautiful day and sending you all so much love. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Blessings to everybody.